trigonometry? Sine, cos, theta, tan, cosec, sec, cot. These are called trigonometric ratios. These are called trigonometric ratios. So we have 6 different trigonometric ratios. So there was one more chapter in class 10, some applications of trigonometry. Right? So we have done a number of questions based on heights and distances. So what can where do we use trigonometry? What do you think? To measure something? What do we measure using trigonometry? We measure angles or what? We can measure the height of any object using trigonometry. So for that we can use an instrument called sextant, and it is used to measure the height of a building. Sextant is used to measure the height of a building. Okay. So trigonometric में आपने जो अभी तक किया है वो क्या किया है? We have done 6 fundamental trigonometric ratios: sine, cos, sec, tan, cot, cosec, and cot. Right? So sine and cosec are reciprocal of each other. What is sine theta? If we have a right angle triangle, then perpendicular upon hypotenuse is sine theta, and cos theta is base upon hypotenuse. Tan theta is perpendicular upon base. If we want to find cosec theta, then cosec theta is 1 upon sine theta, so it is reciprocal of sine theta, therefore h upon p. Similarly, sec theta is reciprocal of cos theta, it is h upon b. Cot theta is reciprocal of tan theta, and because tan theta is also sine theta by cos theta, so it is cos theta by sine theta, and it is b upon p, base upon perpendicular. Right? Please write all these formulas in your notebook. So next we have trigonometric identities. So we had read 3 different trigonometric identities. The first one is sine square x plus cos square x equals 1. Second is 1 plus tan square x is equal to sec square x. And the third is 1 plus cot square x is equal to cosec square x. Write all these identities in your notebook now. So we are revising what we had done in our previous classes, right? Should I move to the next slide? Next we have, see, we consider 4 quadrants here, and there is sign convention for trigonometric ratios. So in the first quadrant, which one is the first quadrant? This 0 degree to 90 degree is the first quadrant, and 90 degree to 180 degree is the second quadrant, and 180 degree to 270 degree is the third quadrant, and the fourth quadrant is 270 degree to 0 degree is the fourth quadrant. Okay. So yes, this is our first quadrant, this is our second quadrant, this is the third quadrant, and this one is the fourth quadrant. Okay. So we have angles in degrees, so we can convert these angles in pi as well. 0 degree is 0, can be written as 0 degree only. This 90 degree is pi by 2, and this 180 degree is pi, and this 270 degree is 3 pi by 2, and if we write 360 degree, then it becomes 2 pi. So in the first quadrant, we have sine cos positive, and tan is also positive, because both sine and cos are positive, so tan has to be positive, right? So see, there is a simple way of learning this thing. We can learn it in the way like A, S, T, C. Okay, after school to college. After school, we go to college. Okay, so A means all, S school, 2, and then college. Here A means all positive. The word A means all positive. So all trigonometric ratios are positive in the first quadrant. Okay, so you have learned sine 0 degree, sine 30 degree, tan 45 degree, right? You know the values of 60 degrees, 90 degrees, right? So all were positive. You know all the values from 0 degree to 90 degree, all were positive. So all trigonometric ratios are positive in this particular quadrant. So if we go to the second quadrant, from pi by 2 to pi, then we have only sine positive. S for school and S for sine also, right? So we have sine positive in the second quadrant. In the third quadrant, we have T for 2 and T for 10. We have 10 positive in the third quadrant. Okay, and in the fourth quadrant, we have cos positive. And other trigonometric ratios are negative. And because here you can see sine is positive, so cosec has to be positive because sine and cosec, they are reciprocal of each other. So if sine is positive, then cosec is also positive. And here we have 10 positive now because 10 is positive and therefore cot is also positive in the third quadrant. In the fourth quadrant, because cos is positive, so is the sec. Because sec and cos, they are also reciprocal of each other. Okay. So both are positive in the fourth quadrant. So we have only one quadrant where all the trigonometric ratios are positive. Okay. If we have sine minus theta, sine minus theta is minus sine. Cos minus theta is cos theta. Tan minus theta is minus tan theta. Cosec minus theta is minus cosec theta. Sec minus theta is sec theta. And cot minus theta is minus cot theta. Okay. So here you can see only cos and sec are positive. Rest other trigonometric ratios you can see they are negative. So we have only cos and sec positive. Cos minus theta is cos theta and sec minus theta is sec theta. While other trigonometric ratios are negative. Please write this. So what if we have sine minus 30 degree? So sine minus 30 degree can be written as minus sine 30 because sine minus theta is minus sine theta. And what is the value of sine 30 degree? 1 by 2. So answer is minus 1 by 2. And cos minus 30 degree? Yes, it is plus cos 30 degree and the value is root 3 by 2. Okay. Sign of cos and sec will change to positive. See, there are certain trigonometric ratios which are complementary to each other. So what are complementary angles? Sum is 90 degree. In the same way, we have complementary ratios. So sine and cos are complementary to each other. Sine and cos are complementary to each other. The value of sine 30 degree is 1 by 2 and cos 60 is 1 by 2. So you can see sine 30 is equal to cos 60. 60 plus 30 is 90. So they are complementary to each other. So if we have pi by 2 or integral multiple of pi by 2, then sine will change to cos and cos will change to sine. Similarly, cosec becomes sec and sec becomes cosec. And tan we have with tan we have cot and cot with cot we have tan. Okay. So sine pi by 2 minus theta is cos theta. Cos pi by 2 minus theta is sine theta. Pi by 2 is 90 degree. Tan 90 degree minus theta is cot theta. Cot 90 degree minus theta is tan theta. Cot 90 degree minus theta is tan theta and cosec 90 degree minus theta is sec theta. Sec 90 degree minus theta is cosec theta. Cot 90 minus theta is tan theta. So pi by 2 minus theta lies in the first quadrant. If we subtract an angle from 90 degree, then it goes to the first quadrant. And in the first quadrant, we have all trigonometric ratios positive. No trigonometric ratio is negative in the first quadrant. Okay. So if we have sine 30 degree, so we can write sine 30 degree as cos 90. See 30 degree is 90 minus 60. 30 is 90 minus 60. So sine 30 can be written as sine 90 minus 60. Okay. Now use this formula. We have sine pi by 2 minus theta as cos theta. So this is pi by 2. This 90 degree is pi by 2. And for theta we have 60 degree. So this can be written as cos 60 degree. Is it? Similarly, if we have pi by 2 plus theta, then what? Sine pi by 2 plus theta is cos theta. Because sine and cos are complementary. So we have pi by 2 here, 90 degree here. Okay. And we are adding an angle to 90 degree. So when we add an angle to 90 degree, then it goes to the second quadrant. In the second quadrant, we have only sine and cosec positive and other trigonometric ratios are negative. So if we have sine 90 degree plus theta, then it becomes cos theta. And if we have cos 90 plus theta, then it is minus sine theta. Because when cos goes to the second quadrant, it becomes negative. But cos will change to sine. Because they are complementary to each other, so it will change to sine, but its sign will change. Okay, like it will become negative because it is going to the second quadrant now. We are adding an angle to 90, it is going to the second. Similarly, if we have 10 pi by 2 plus theta, it is minus cot theta because again, we are adding an angle to pi by 2, it is going to second quadrant and 10 is negative in the second quadrant. Cosec pi by 2 plus theta is, as sine is positive and so is the cosec because they are reciprocal to each other. Sec 90 plus theta is minus cosec theta. Cot 90 plus theta is minus 10 theta. Pi by 2 plus theta lies in the second quadrant. In the second quadrant, we have only sine and cosec positive. If we have sine 120 degree, so we can write sine 120 degree as 90 plus 30 degree. 90 plus 30. Sine 90 plus 30 is cos 30. Yes. Sine 90 degree plus 30, it is cos 30 degree. And the value of cos 30 degree is root 3 by 2. See, initially we had learned the values of 0 degree, 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree and 90 degree in lower classes. Now we can find the value of higher degrees as well. Using these relations, we can find. If we have any angle greater than 90 degree, we can find the value. Okay. Please write this. See, as we are done for pi by 2, similarly we can do for pi or n pi. N pi means multiple of pi, like 2 pi, 3 pi, 4 pi, like this. So here you can see sine remains sine only. It will not change to cos. It changes to cos when we have integral multiple of pi by 2 because they are complementary, so it changes to cos. But if we have 180 degree, pi, okay, 2 pi, 360 degree, if we have degree angles like this, then it remains the same. Okay, it will not change to any other trigonometric ratios. So when we subtract any angle from 180 degree, then it goes to which quadrant? To the second quadrant. And in the second quadrant, we have only sine and cosec positive. Sine will remain positive. And cos will change to negative. So cos pi minus theta is minus cos theta. Sin pi minus theta is plus sin theta. 10 pi minus theta is, because only sine is positive and it's reciprocal. Other trigonometric ratios are negative. Cosec pi minus theta is cosec theta because cosec is the reciprocal of sine. Sec pi minus theta is minus sec theta. Cot pi minus theta is minus cot theta. Pi minus theta lies in the second quadrant. Only sine and cosec are positive there. So if we want to write sine 150 degree in simpler form, how can we write? It is sine 180 minus 30. So sine 180 minus 30 is sine 30. So आ गया. If we have pi plus theta, then it will go to the third quadrant. And in the third quadrant, we have tan and cot positive and other trigonometric ratios are negative. So sine pi plus theta will change to minus sine theta. Cos pi by theta becomes minus cos theta. अब आप बताते जो 10 pi plus theta. Okay. Cosec minus cosec. Sec minus sec theta. Cot plus cot theta. Pi plus theta lies in the third quadrant. Only 10 and quarter positive there. Rest other trigonometric ratios we have negative. So if we have 10, 2, 1, 0, 210 degree. How will we write this? We can write 180 plus 180 plus 30 is 210. So it is 1030 degree and the value of 1030 degree is 1 by root 3. Please write this. Sine 240 degree. So we have to find the value of sine 240 degree. How will you do this? Okay, very quick. Okay, sine pi plus theta. So 180 plus theta. Yes. 180 plus 60 minus sine 60 because in the third quadrant we have sine negative. So answer is minus root 3 by 2. Second, sine minus 30 degree. What is the value of sine minus 30 degree?
930.
Sine changes to minus sign or it remains the yes, it becomes minus sine 30 degree. Sine 30 is half, so answer is minus half. Next, cos 270 degree. Zero point. It's 180 plus 90. It goes to the third quadrant. Cos 90 degree is 0. Cos 90 degrees. Or we can write 360 minus 90. Cos 90 degrees is 0. Answer is 0. Have you written all three?
Yes.
Yes. Should I move to the next slide? See, we have few more formulas here. अब आएंगे formulas. ये आएंगे बढ़िया वाले. ठीक है? So if we have sin x plus y, then sin x plus y is sin x cos y plus cos x sin y. एक बार इसको वैसे पीछे चैंटिंग करो इसकी. Sin x plus y is sin x cos y plus cos x sin y. One more time. Sin x cos y plus cos x sin y. Sin x minus y is sin x cos y minus cos x sin y. One more time. Sin x cos y minus cos x sin y. Good. Next. Cos x plus y is cos x cos y minus sin x sin y. One point to be noted. See, when we had signs for positive, we had positive in the middle, right? In the term, between the terms. And if we have negative here, then we have negative between the terms. But for cos, if we have positive, then it becomes negative. And negative becomes positive. Now, cos x minus y is cos x cos y minus sin x sin y. One more time. Cos x cos y minus sin x sin y. Now write both the identities, both the formulas in your notebook. अब आपको हो गया लर्न, अब नहीं भूलते. ठीक है? 10x plus y. 10x plus y is 10x plus 10y upon, in the denominator we have 1 minus 10x 10y. See, if we have positive here, then numerator we have the same sign in the numerator, but in the denominator sign changes to negative. And if we have negative 10x minus y, then in the numerator it remains the same 10x minus 10y, but in the denominator sign changes to positive. Okay, so 10x plus y is 10x plus 10y upon 1 minus 10x 10y. 10x minus 10y is, sorry, 10x minus y is 10x minus y is
minus 10y upon 1 plus 10x.
very good, right? So can we write this 75 degree as 45 degree plus 30 degree? So we can use sin a plus b here, sin x plus y here. Okay, so we'll be using that formula, and using that formula you can find the value of sin 75 degree. Okay, so sin 75 degree can be written as sin 45 degree plus 30 degree. So sin a plus b is sin a cos b plus cos a sin b. So a is 45 and b is 30. A is 45 and b is 30. Sin a cos b plus cos A sin B. Now you have to put the value of sin 45 degree, cos 30 degree, cos 45 degree and sin 30 degree here. On solving this, you will get this answer. और बारिश हो रही है, weather मौसम ऐसा हो रहा है, pleasant weather. चलो रूट 2 से मल्टीप्लाई डिवाइड करो, कितनी कॉम्प्लेक्स वैल्यू है ना, रूट 3 प्लस 1/2, तो ऐसी ऐसी वैल्यूज आएंगी अब. ठीक है, should I move to the next slide? You all have written. What if we have cos 75 degree? We can write cos A plus B, cos 45 plus 30 degree. What is the formula of cos A plus B? Yes. Yes, it is cos A cos B minus sin A sin B. Again, you'll put the values here and you will get this answer. Root 3 minus 1/2 root 2. अब बिना देखे ऊपर अपने आप करो और फिर उसको आंसर को वेरीफाई कर लेना. Sin 300 degree, cos 120 degree and tan 75 degree. Find the values of these three first. So, in 5 minutes. 5 minutes भी ज्यादा है, आप मुझे पता है आप बहुत जल्दी कर लोगे, आपको सब कुछ आ गया, आप स्मार्ट हो गए हो आप.